Listen, y'all, the writers are on strike, the actors are on strike. You might as well just get some snacks and get into this tea with your boy. This week, we're going at Isaac. Also, why is Trey still here? All right, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, I've been breaking down season 5 of Too Hot to Handle. Last week, we went through episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. This week, we're doing episodes 5, 6, and 7, and that's all I've seen. Next week, we bring it all to a close with 8, 9, and 10. And I don't think there's a reunion. But if there is, I guess I'll cover that too. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's see if we can find out what Trey's still doing here. Boom, episode 5. This one's called Driving Me Bananas, and for good reason. Of course, you remember last week they left us on that did they or didn't they cliffhanger with Christine and the new guy Trey date. The editing wanted us to believe that they kissed, but in my heart of hearts, I knew they didn't. And of course they didn't. I've been watching enough trash TV for long enough to know what I'm being messed with. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that before Louis found out whether she kissed this dude or not, he said that if she did kiss him, that they're done. As if he didn't just, okay. Anyway, then we got a scene with Isaac and Courtney. He's trying to explain to her that him and Yaz just had a connection. And if they did, I didn't see it. Then he tells her that they kissed and that he's gonna sleep in her bed tonight. Courtney proceeds to cry her eyeballs out. Poor thing. I mean, in seasons past, the villain didn't always even try to apologize. So I gotta give him at least partial credit for trying to be like, not forthcoming, but like whatever's like right after forthcoming. You know, obviously she ain't trying to hear that shit, but like, he's trying. It's still whack, but I gotta address it. He even asked her if she wants to hug it out. Naturally, she disrespectfully declines. Now Isaac is back with Yasmin, and she's like, how did your talk with Courtney go? And he's like, not good. And she's like, wait, seriously? Like, girl, how you think it went? So that night, after the awkward ass evening, Christine and Louis are on this all-time high, because now Louis knows that Christine was being faithful to him. Christine made a conscious choice not to be a super freak and come back to Louis. So naturally, when they go to bed, we get some more rule breaks. And not only are these two making out, but either Christine bought a shake weight or she just became the resident handy woman. Honestly, next season, we just need cameras under the sheets. Like, you gotta just take us there. So the next day, Lana comes out and calls out Christine and Louis. This dude, Louis, is stuttering so crazy when they ask him if they broke a rule. Louis has the worst poker face probably in all of reality TV show history. Here is also where we find out that out of nowhere, Hannah is now feeling Trey. We'll get back to that in a second because it does bring us what is likely the cringiest moment in Too Hot to Handle's short yet storied history. And speaking of cringe, then we get this conversation between Yasmin and Courtney. Like, Courtney doesn't want to help this girl, but like Courtney's too real that she can't like not warn a fellow woman. So she's out there trying to do her best to like tell her that Isaac is slimy, but Yasmin ain't trying to hear that shit. Some kids just gotta learn the hard way. You know how some kids, they mom tell them that the stove is hot, they be like, all right, your mom said the stove is hot, I'm not gonna touch it. Yasmin gotta feel how hot it is. All right, okay, so here go the cringiest moment in Too Hot to Handle history. Remember how I told you how Hannah now likes Trey? I don't even know why that happened. This dude doesn't even say words. Maybe Hannah don't like words. She sees him in the pool. She goes over to try to strike up a conversation, knowing there's a good chance this dude doesn't know how to speak words. All right, I'm just kidding. She's like, so what do you do? He's like, I'm a model. And she's like, oh yeah, I used to run track. This dude's like, oh yeah, running sucks. So she's like, oh, okay. And he like doubles down. He's like, oh no, it's true. And high key, running does suck. But if a nice young lady is telling me that's her passion, at that moment, running does not suck.
Boy, you know the truth.
At this point, Hannah's telling the confessional, like, yeah, this conversation with Trey is very boring, but he's hot. Maybe that dude, Dre, was onto something when he said, when you look good, you don't gotta try hard. All right, here it is. I don't even really want to talk about it because it gives me the heebie-jeebies, but I'm gonna do it for y'all. For some reason, Hannah tells Trey that she's also a dancer and that since he's the newcomer it's only right that she shows him some moves. Now, did Trey ask to see these moves? Did Trey make it seem that he was into her even at all? No, of course not. She just does stuff. She proceeds to start shaking that ass in front of him with no music, no interest from Trey, and of course, no rhythm. This dude's not even looking at it. And I'm sure there's a good chance that was some funny Netflix editing, but it don't make it any less hard to watch. As soon as she realizes that Trey is quite possibly dead inside, she moves on. And now apparently she wants Isaac. Girl, you sure? Speaking of Isaac, Isaac's over with Yaz, and Yaz is trying to confront him about the news that she just got from Courtney. She's like, hey, Courtney said you're a player. Now, here's what any normal man with brain would say or should say. Oh, no. I'm not a player. Or, yeah, I know I kind of messed up with this Courtney situation, but with you, I really do feel a connection, and I'm trying to make this experiment work. Here's what Isaac really says. Let me rewind. Yeah, here go Yasmin. Hey, so I heard you're a player. Isaac goes, you're so beautiful. Yaz is so freaking clueless. She's like, so you won't screw me over? Yasmin describes Isaac as, these are her words, a loyal bad boy.
What the hell did you just say?
Anyway, back with Louis and Christine, this dude Louis is trying to like change his life. He's telling Christine like, look, we gotta chill. Christine is like, yes, we could chill, but I kind of just want to break more rules. They have a plan to sneak off into the bathroom while everyone is sleeping. How does that even help? Lana's about to straighten them all out though, because she's about to reveal just how much those rule breaks cost. But for the first time this season, Louis actually admits to it before Lana could get on the airwaves. Like, kinda, because the group is like, Louis, thank you for your honesty. It's messed up that you guys kissed, but we appreciate you coming forward. Lana's like, yeah, they was kissing, but don't forget the mutual self-gratification. It's a strike, y'all. Like, what you want is a strike. Anyway, Lana's like, yeah, because those kisses are going to cost y'all $18,000. But those mutual handies, yeah, that'll be $30K. The group is now down to $98,000. And Dre is about to start looking for side hustles. He said he could have used that money to help his sister pay off her student loans. And I don't know if he's saying that for clout. Like, that girl's probably at home like, nigga, I'm in the 8th grade. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's telling the truth. So anyway, now Lana wants to give Louis and Christine the ultimate test. She's going to set these hornballs up with a private night in the like romantic suite. And this suite is decked out. They got the rosé, they got the tub, they got the freaking magnums, but they're not focused. As soon as they get in there, Christina's talking about how they could have sex and they can give each other head.
Jesus Christ.
Good Lord, she's horny. So after these idiots leave, Lana's talking to the rest of the group and she's like, all right, let me kick it to y'all straight. Do y'all trust your people? And they're like, low-key, no. She's like, all right, if you put your trust in these two idiots and they don't break a rule, I'm gonna give y'all that $48,000 back. And they're like, oh, nice. But if they do break a rule, I'm gonna take another $48,000, which will leave y'all with approximately $10. At the same time that the crew is getting this breakdown from Lana, they cut over to Christine and she's doing things with a banana that could end the actor strike right now if she just showed it to the right people. Then she gets butt naked and gets in the tub. Well, I guess, and then he got butt naked and got in the tub too. The tub is in the middle of the room, which is kind of like sexy, but to me sounds like a logistical nightmare. Because then like, which side does the bath mat go on? Because if it goes only on one side, then to me, that's a little asymmetrical and I couldn't have a bathroom like that. I would probably have to get a bath mat that surrounds the whole thing, like a little oval, but I don't even know if they make those. I probably got to go to Bed Bath & Beyond before they go out of business and see if they carry something like that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the trust. So the group goes on record by saying, yes, we trust these two to do the right thing. I don't know why. They know how corny Christine is, but they still trust her anyway. Also, I don't even know why Trey's boring ass got a vote. All right, the night is over. It's the next day, and Netflix is back to their old tricks. They want us to believe that they broke several rules. Plus, Louis' face always looks guilty, but I'm not trusting it. But now we find out that if they did break a rule, not only do they lose another $48K, but Louis and Christine gotta go home. Which brings us, of course, to our episode 5 cliffhanger. Boom, episode 6. This one's called Ain't No Cliffhangers at Tate's Take. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's called Making History. But it really ain't no cliffhangers around here. They indeed did not break a rule. The group is back to $146,000. Dre is back on the road to early retirement. So everyone's happy they got the money back, and Elise and Alex are just thinking of ways that they can spend it now. Hannah's still working on her mission to bag Isaac. And is it just me, or does her black scent be slipping out from time to time? Anyway, she asks him for help with her lotion. Very popular trick on Too Hot to Handle. This idiot, of course, falls for it and lathers it right on her ass. He's gonna fall for whatever it is she's doing. I'm just calling it now. In other horny news, Alex and Elise are working out. And he's like, yeah, tighten your glutes. And she's like, where are my glutes? And he's like, they're right here. He's like, act like you got a penny in between them, I guess to like clench them. And she's like, oh, I'm used to having bigger things in between my butt cheeks. Girl, Hannah pulls up on Isaac again. The girl is nothing if not consistent. But this time she tells him like straight up, like, look, I'm feeling you. What's up? And now Isaac has been trying to get Yasmin to break a rule. Yasmin is trying to be like a good girl and like do the experiment, get a connection, but he ain't trying to hear that shit. So he's like telling Hannah like, you know, I'm kind of into you too. Only because freaking Yasmin ain't breaking no rules. Anyway, shortly after that is when Lana called them all over to give them those Power Ranger watches, and they was acting like they got Rolexes. The point is, when they turn green, you can do whatever you want. The rules are suspended. I think it was Elise that was like, so we could still break rules? And Dre was like, why not just act right and get rewarded? Which is like a very good line. Nice job, Dre. Less than like 2 hours after getting the damn watches, Elise and Alex commit a rule break. Elise is basically like, look, I ain't with all that feeling shit. I'm not gonna be emotional with you. I'm never gonna get a green light, so I'm gonna just break this rule. But when they wake up in the morning, they admitted to the group that they did indeed share a makeout. They probably the first people to admit it, like still in bed. And that doesn't even matter, because it's about to get ugly. Lana calls them all over, and she's like, did you know that Elise and Alex shared a kiss last night? And everybody's like, yeah, we know. They were like forthcoming about it. They just told us. But did they tell you it was 12 minutes long? Did they tell you that? Or did they just say it was just one little kiss and it really was 12 minutes? You know how long 12 minutes is? Which does make for another genius episode title. So it's like 2 for 2. The bananas thing, that's like perfect. And then making history, like, come on. Clever. Lana calculated, or like some Netflix intern calculated, that the average kiss time from Too Hot to Handle history is 1 minute and 57 seconds. They did 6 times that. So they pay 6 times the fee. That 12-minute sesh cost them $36,000. The group is now down to $110K, and on top of that, Lana says, y'all got 12 hours to get a green light or y'all both going home. Damn, Lana, chill out. Sheesh. In this episode, we also get the second workshop, but this one was only for the women. It was called Unlocking Your Authentic Self, and it was led by relationship expert Shannon Boodram. So all the girls are there opening up, sharing, being vulnerable, except Elise. Elise is still trying to be a thug. But after she realizes that literally everyone else is sharing, she's finally like, look, I sometimes, or all the time, come to relationships with a blasé attitude. My parents' divorce really messed me up. So if I come in thinking that I don't really care, it's like I can't get hurt. Good job, Elise. We needed that from you. You are still my favorite. Now she's on a date with Alex, and hopefully her newfound openness will get them the green light and avoid them being sent home. Okay, we're gonna leave them at dinner for a little bit. We must step away, because inside the house, Yasmin is now trying to figure out which pajamas to wear for Isaac in a bed that he's not even gonna be in. Shh. I'll explain. Hannah pulls up in her cheetah outfit and tells Isaac, you shouldn't sleep in Yasmin's bed tonight. She basically gave him like a mini ultimatum, so it's kind of like a nice little Netflix crossover there, huh? Back to Elise and Alex. She finally opens up. She tells him that she likes him. She admits the whole story with her parents and their divorce. And Lana rewards them with the green light. They make out. It's good for y'all. I'm very happy for you. I hope that it works out in the long term. And if it wasn't something crazy going on inside, I would stay and hang out and congratulate you even further. But what's happening inside is quite possibly the craziest thing that happens out of all these 3 episodes. Maybe probably all 7 episodes so far. Let's go back inside. This is where Isaac has to choose between Yasmin's bed and Hannah's bed. And everyone's watching this. Isaac jumps into Yasmin's bed, damn near under the covers. So we're like, Oh wow, this man stayed loyal to his thing. All right, we love to see that. He leans over and tells Yasmin, hey, we can talk about this more tomorrow, but Hannah has shown interest in me. I'm gonna sleep in her bed tonight. This dude now has to take the covers off and roll into Hannah's bed in front of everyone. Now, if Courtney ain't staring at her with the biggest I told you so in the history of modern language, I don't know what is. Oh my golly, wow. Boom, episode 7. This one's called Defective Detective. Like a lot of days, everyone wakes up grumpy, but of course today is just a little bit extra grump. Courtney's looking at Yaz like, stupid. And for some reason, Christine feels the need to call out Hannah. You got some fucking nerve. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. You're calling out Hannah for going after a guy she likes when that guy is trying to make a connection with another girl, when you quite literally went after a guy that you liked who was making a connection with another girl who just happened to be Hannah. Also, real quick, why is Trey still here? Anyway, Lana calls everybody over and she tells the group that they got 2 new people coming, Lindsay and Bryce. And just like last time, they each get to choose one person that's in a couple to go on a date with. Lindsay chooses Louie and Bryce chooses Elise. And that's a great choice, Bryce. But our first date is with Lindsay and Louie. Lindsay is from Hawaii and she spells her name with a Z like it's for AOL. Lindsay's like 21 or 22, but she definitely looks a little more mature than. Over to Bryce, this dude is Australian, which Elise is already into. Back to the other date, Louie is into Lindsay's boobs. Lana said that the crew back in the house can choose to watch a little bit of the date. So Courtney and Christine watch a little bit of Louie's date, but they don't really see what they need to see. Megan and Alex get to watch a little bit of Bryce and Elise's date, and Meg's kind of acting like how I would act if it was me. I would be out there instigating like, damn, they kind of getting a little close. Don't you think they're getting a little cuddly? Somebody should do something about that. That's crazy. Back to Louie, he's still lost in those boobs. He tells her that's her best asset. Like, that poor girl. Then she asks him, do you want to touch them?
What did she say?
Like, who asks that on a first date? I'm trying to tell y'all that these people get a stimulus check if they can get these people in couples to get a little freaky deaky. Elise is on her date and she can't really tell us how she feels about Bryce completely, totally. But she does say that at times she was forgetting about Alex. So that's kind of saying something there a little bit there. Back to Louie on another will he or won't he in regards to touching those boobs. And for those of you who are just listening in because you got a good job and morals and you just can't bring yourself to watch such filth, well, here at Tate's Take, I'm here to inform you that he does indeed touch those boobs. Now Lana gives the folks back at the house the opportunity to stick or twist. Basically, Christine and Alex have the opportunity to get their partners out of that date and send someone from the house to take their place, or just chill and let them enjoy the rest of their date in peace. Which kind of makes no sense because there's no penalty to bringing them back early. So like I get to be with my partner and give someone in the house an opportunity to go on a date. It's like nobody loses. Christine takes Lana up on her offer to get Louie the fuck up out of there before he gets that girl pregnant. She chooses Detective Dre, who finally gets a date. And his thirsty ass runs out there in his nice little gesture. Alex, on the other hand, trusts Elise to stay on her date. Like if it was me, I'm always gonna just trust him to just go on the date and just stay on the whatever, longer, whatever. But I would feel bad not giving someone like Megan the chance to go on the date. So like I would just want to send someone just cause, not cause like I don't trust my partner, like just whatever, do your thing. It's like, it's fine. But I guess Megan gonna have to just see this dude in the house. So now over to this Dre and Lindsay date. It doesn't take us long to realize that Lindsay doesn't often date black guys from Atlanta. He also realizes how boring she is, but I don't think he cares because she's hot. And you gotta like shout out Dre because he's trying to use like all the techniques that he's learning on the show to like make a deep connection, not knowing that this woman just let a dude she knew for 13 minutes grab her boobs. He asked her like, am I your type? And she's like, no. This girl really is an absolute menace. Now Louie comes back and Christine's like, did you touch her? Damn, how'd you know? Louie, being a 6-year-old, is like, I touched her arm. And Christine's like, well, as long as you didn't kiss her. Girl. Elise and Bryce come back to this awkward arrival with Megan and Alex, but I guess nothing happened. So Lana gives them another green light. This couple is coupling, y'all. We'll see if it lasts. Dre and Lindsay come back now, and I'm pretty sure she called him Trey instead of Dre. And speaking of Trey, why is he still there? Anyway, Christine's still trying to get all the tea from Lindsay. She's just like, no, tell us more about the dates. Lindsay's like, well, yeah, I had more sexual chemistry with Louis. Courtney's looking around like, what the hell? Where'd that come from? And Louis looking around like, help me! Lindsay's about to give her whole TED talk on all the ways that her and Louis had a better connection. But in straight sitcom mode, Louis is like, hey, Lindsay, you're new here. Don't you want to see a tour of the house? Yeah, Dre, why don't y'all like take a tour of the house? I want you to like just show around. Like this is an episode of Full House or something. What? Who talks like that? But the tour works out for Dre because somehow he gets this girl to make out with him. And it was weird, but I gotta be happy for Detective Dre. We'll see how he feels about costing the group money when it was his own damn fault. And now his sister can't go to school or have a roof over her head or a hot meal. See how he feels. And that's pretty much episodes 5, 6, and 7. I'll be back next week doing 8, 9, and 10. Pretty much bringing this whole thing, to a wrap. I don't know if Lana's going on strike, but I'll be here next week. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, just let me know how you feel about these episodes. How do we feel about Isaac? Is he our villain of the season? Do we think that Christine is going to make a big deal when she obviously finds out that this dude Louis was grabbing boobs? Do we think that Lindsay actually likes Dre or that's just a makeout? Will Megan and Bryce have a thing? Let me know. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace.